Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Ezekiel chapter 34, we have a prophecy against the shepherds. And the shepherds here reference the kings of Judah. And we could probably throw in also the kings of Israel as well, that these kings were not taking care of the people. They weren't shepherding the people, they were shepherding themselves. A shepherd is supposed to take care of the sheep, supposed to feed the sheep, supposed to tend to the sick, bind up those that are wounded. A shepherd is supposed to have all of his interests invested into the sheep. But the kings had just lived for themselves and had basically lavished themselves with creaturely comforts, uh, just overindulgence, and just self-seeking, and they had taken advantage of the people. And this is what's described about them, starting in verse 4. It says, "Those who are sickly you have not strengthened, and the diseased you have not healed, and the broken you have not bound up, and the scattered you have not brought back, nor have you searched for the lost, but with strength and with severity you have dominated them. They were scattered for lack of a shepherd, and they became food for every beast of the field, and were scattered." And certainly this would have become very evident as the people looked around, whether they were the exiles in Babylon and looked around and saw themselves in a foreign land, or if they were uh, in Israel and looking around at all the devastation. Perhaps the temple still lifting up smoke from being burned by the Babylonians. This was a testimony to the fact that the kings had not lived up to their task, and that is to shepherd the people and to take care of them. On the positive side, the Lord said that he was going to shepherd. In verse 11 it says, "For thus says Lord Yahweh, behold, I myself will seek my sheep and care for them. As a shepherd cares for his herd in the day when he is among his sheep, which are spread out. So I will care for my sheep and will deliver them from all the places which they were scattered on a cloudy and gloomy day." The Lord says, okay, the shepherds have not been a good king for you. I'll be your king. I'll be your shepherd, and I'll be the one who will care for you, which is really bringing it back to the way things were originally. God was always it was always intended that God would be their king, but the people asked for a king like the nations around them, and uh, eventually the Lord got the guy that he wanted to be king to be placed, but then all the subsequent generations missed the mark, with the exception of just a few kings. And now God's saying, I'm going to be your shepherd, and I'll care for you, and I'll take care of you. And this is a precious word, because what this shows is that God still has sheep. Now, that's the first thing that we can notice about this. God still had sheep, even though they had been devastated by captivity and punishment and judgment by God. God still considered his people his sheep, which reflects what's said in Psalm 95 in verse 7, where it says, "For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand." And God hadn't changed that. He was still seeing them as his sheep, and he was going to go out and care for them. And that's the second thing, is to see that God himself now was going to shepherd the people. And all this points ahead to Jesus Christ, who himself proclaimed himself to be the good shepherd. He would be the one that would lay down his life for the sheep. He was the one who would sacrifice all for the sheep, not as a hireling, not as a king who just has a position, who's doing a job, but he was going to be a shepherd who was intimately aware with the situation of all the sheep and would do something about it and care and comfort and strengthen them. And so we can be thankful today that whatever earthly king we might have, whatever political leaders we might have over us, we can be reminded by Ezekiel 34 that ultimately we are God's sheep, and ultimately God is our king. And whether the earthly kings take care of us or not, God will care for his people. And he has good intentions for us. He has a wonderful future planned for us. He's given us hope through Jesus Christ, and he will shepherd us, and he will give us what we need to meet our daily needs, whether it's deliverance, whether it's strength, whether it's comfort, whether it's encouragement, we can trust God to care for us this very day. So let's be thankful that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And we can have the Lord in our lives caring for us each and every day, and we can trust Him in that way. So here's some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.